it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, follow me on social media. So, I was lying in bed, and that is why I am here, because I was lying in bed and I was thinking about today's episode and I couldn't get something out of my head, guys. I think that I galaxy brained how Cat Noir gets akumatized. Maybe, okay? I'm not saying this is a fact, right? This is a theory. It may be wrong. By the time Cat Blanc comes out, it may be wrong, okay? So do not come for me, but I feel like I just stumbled on something. Like, the things all just connected. We need to talk about it, okay? Because I was alone, like, in bed, trying to sleep, like, freaking out. In Kwame Buster, the most important part of this episode is that Adrian and Marinette sort of both ponder the idea that the other goes to their high school, right? And with Adrian, he's like, what if Ladybug is Marinette? And Plag's just like, Plag just tries to just not say anything. Ladybug makes this illusion that she gave Marinette a Miraculous. And this is even in the interaction with Multi-Mouse getting a ring from Cat Noir, right? She's like, I'm not Ladybug though, I'm Multi-Mouse, right? Like, there's this whole illusion that Cat Noir is supposed to believe that Ladybug and Marinette are two separate people because Ladybug gave Marinette the Mouse Miraculous, okay? So that makes sense. That's all fine. Here's where the theory starts though, guys, okay? Adrian and Marinette both detransformed when their Kwamis got stolen, okay? For Ladybug to give Marinette a Miraculous, she would have had to seen Ladybug detransformed. I don't know, like, what Cat Noir's mind process would be, but if I was Cat Noir, I would just assume that Marinette is the only person in the world, and she is technically, who has seen the true identity of Ladybug, because Ladybug was also detransformed. In order to give Marinette a Miraculous, she would have had to have seen detransformed Ladybug. All right, and like, we could be like, oh, well, maybe like, you know, he would assume that, you know, she did it in disguise, and so this theory doesn't work. But just imagine this, guys. Imagine like that light bulb moment in Cat Noir's head where he's like, I can't find out Ladybug's identity from Ladybug, but what if Marinette knows Ladybug's identity? Because Ladybug had to give Marinette Multi-Mouse, like the Mouse Miraculous, when Ladybug was detransformed, when Ladybug was not in costume, right? And so I'm gonna just set the scene, all right? Everyone just close their eyes wherever you are, okay? And just imagine this, okay? Imagine Cat Noir is just doing his night patrol, all right, just prowling around, and he like goes on Marinette's balcony, and Marinette is like there for some reason, I don't know, and he's like, you know, starting casual conversation, but then he brings up the big question, all right? Marinette, do you know who Ladybug is, right? Right? You know what I mean? Because here's where things would get crazy, because in Adrian's mind, and if Marinette doesn't think of the excuse, oh, well, she was wearing a costume because Marinette's panicked, right? And I feel like Marinette being panicked, she wouldn't necessarily think that way, right? What if Adrian's like, I know, as Cat Noir's just like, I know that you must have seen her because she was detransformed when she gave you the Miraculous, and Marinette's just like, oh, like, what am I supposed to do? And so Marinette says something that is bad, and whatever the bad thing she says is why Cat Noir ends up getting akumatized, because it says, when Marinette makes a serious mistake, she has to face the consequences by fighting the last person she ever imagined would get akumatized. That is the description, okay? And so what if Marinette's mistake was she said something to Cat Noir? I don't know what she would say to him, but it was about Ladybug being detransformed. Like, it all connects back to Kwame Buster. Does that make sense? And so she would upset Cat Noir to the point where he became akumatized. And here's why, like, here's what really freaks me out about this theory, right? I'm getting chills and I haven't even said anything yet. For Cat Noir, is giving up the Cat Miraculous worth knowing the identity of the love of your life? Like, that's a question I want to pose to everyone. Like, what if in Adrian's mind, he loves being Cat Noir, and he, you know, obviously loves Ladybug, but what if he thinks that it would be worth it for him not to be Cat Noir anymore if he could find out the identity of the woman that he loves and be with her, right? Of the girl that he loves. I think that that's where I'm getting like the chills, and this is like where I was like freaking out and like, I have to make a video about this. I cannot suffer by myself, because think about like how emotional and like sad that would be if he would be willing to sacrifice being Cat Noir in order to be with Ladybug, right? Like, what if he tells that to Marinette and then Marinette says something and that's what leads into him spiraling into sort of this sadness sort of thing? You know, what if he says like, Marinette, I know that you must have seen Ladybug that day because she was de-transformed, and like, listen, I love being Cat Noir, but I want to give it all up so I can find out who she is and we can be together. I don't need to be a superhero. She's amazing on her own. Just sort of like stuff like that. She can have like another Cat Noir, but it doesn't need to be me. I would rather be with her. And Marinette like goes off on him because she obviously can't speak on behalf of like Ladybug. Like, she can't scald him as Ladybug because he wouldn't tell Ladybug this. But as Marinette, she's like really, really angry, and she's just like, or really, really upset at the very least, and she's like Cat Noir, like, why would you say that? You can't say that. You can't do that. And like, I don't know how Marinette would act, because Marinette isn't really an aggressive person. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the AU, like, the most extreme mistake, because this is a serious mistake, okay? The most serious thing I could imagine Marinette saying is that, like, you know, she's really upset that Cat Noir is saying all this, and she's like, Ladybug isn't even in love with you, and you would give up being Cat Noir for someone who doesn't have feelings for you? Just stop, Cat Noir. Like, give it a rest, you know? Stop it. I could see her at the most extreme level. I don't think that she would directly say that in the show, but at the most extreme level, I could see her saying something like that, and that's what gets Cat Noir akumatized. And that's what makes him into Cat Blanc, because he doesn't want to be Cat Noir anymore. Like, I feel like, would that not be the craziest conflict if this whole thing started because he had sort of these turbulent feelings about being Cat Noir? Does that make sense, that he wants to give it up in order to be with Ladybug, and there's all these sort of conflicting emotions, and Hawkmoth is just like, here I am. He wants to use Cat Noir to get Ladybug's Miraculous, and then he would take off his own Miraculous, I guess, and bring it to Hawkmoth. I don't know how that episode is really gonna work, but just imagine that, you guys. Imagine if Kwame Buster just started all this. Like, I'm literally freaking out. Like, as I'm thinking about this, I'm lying down and I'm freaking out, because what if that's how he feels? Because, like, honestly, if I were him, that is kind of how I would feel. Like, I can't, again, I don't know, like, I don't know how Cat Noir feels, but I'm saying that if it were me, I think that it would be worth it if you could be with the person you love, even if you couldn't necessarily do the thing that you love anymore. Does that make sense? Like, there are lots of things that I would give up for the person I love, like give up doing, you know what I mean? Because I like being with them more, or I would sacrifice, right? It's a sacrifice. I would sacrifice being Cat Noir in order to be with you. That's how much I love you, my lady. Like, I could see, girl! I can see him saying something like that. I'm gonna make myself upsetty because I don't know. But this could be possible, or this could be completely wrong, and you guys are free to laugh at me. But at the same time, I don't know, sis. Like, I just don't know. I feel like in my heart, this would be a great AU at the very least, right? But what if that is Marinette's serious mistake? Is that Cat Noir comes to her, all right, and says all this stuff to her, and she just like snaps at him a little bit, or she gets upset, right? And she doesn't respond to him and tell him, you know, tell him that he's valued as a superhero. You know what I mean? She almost like does the opposite, but instead of focusing like, Cat Noir, you can't give up your Miraculous, you're a hero of Paris, you know, all of that stuff. She instead focuses on, why would you do that? Ladybug doesn't have feelings for you. Why won't you, like, why? Like, because I can see her getting frustrated after a while. Like, Cat won't take no for an answer. And I personally understand why he won't. He wants to go, you know, to, I guess, like, he would endlessly fight for the person that he loves. But at the same time, from Ladybug's perspective, that has to get a little annoying. And the fact that he would sacrifice his Miraculous, like, I feel like that would make her very, very upset. Because at the end of the day, Cat Noir is her partner, and she does not want him to do that. So yeah. Oh my god, like I just feel like that this is so possible and I'm a little scared. Like I'm just scared, like I'm scaring myself. I don't like it. But yeah, I guess we'll see when Cat Blanc comes out. This is my theory. I was not planning to make this, okay? I wanted to sleep so bad, but now I'm just gonna be up all night thinking about this because I think that it is true and I don't know a better way to sort of explain that. So yeah, now that we're done, I'm gonna try to sleep. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, remember, again, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I will see you later. Bye. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our wonderful patrons over on Patreon who support the channel. Their names will scroll through now.